Alright, hey guys, it's Ben again with Coyote Outdoors. And today we got a little bit of a different project here. We're going to be converting this trailer into an overland, off-road all-terrain trailer. This is a Snow Bear trailer out of Canada, manufactured in Canada. It's a 2007 model. It's rated for 2,200 pounds, which I think will be more than enough for anything we ever need to take camping with us, like firewood, bikes. The trailer is 5 by 8, so I can get a full sheet of plywood in it, or a lawn mower, or anything like that, so I can still use it around the house. First thing we're going to do to it, we have a whole list, but the first thing we're going to do to it is we're going to be putting new leaf springs on it. So we're going to be putting a kind of a trailer lift kit on it so we can get bigger tires. And we're also going to have to replace the fenders on it. But we're also going to be adding things like some jerry cans and a tire mount and that kind of stuff. But first things first, we got to get some tires on it, bigger tires on it. But let me kind of give you a little overview of the trailer here. Alright guys, there's just a quick overview of our Snow Bear trailer here. Do a quick walk around. This does have a dump function. If you pull this pin here, the whole trailer will tilt back and dump. Right now we've only got 530 by 12 inch tires on here. Now this is a 5 by 4.5 bolt pattern, so it's actually the same bolt pattern as most Jeeps out there, which will make finding rims and tires for it exceedingly easy once we get the lift kit on it. But as you can tell, we've got mismatched rims now, but I got this trailer at a steal. I only paid about $600 for it, which I think is just a awesome price, seeing as how brand new this is. About a $2,000 trailer. And for being a 2007, it is in extremely good shape. And I actually ended up buying it from a guy pretty much right across the street from me, so it worked out really well. I seen this pop up on Facebook, and well, I jumped on it as soon as I could. But it's nothing too exciting though. It's got the solid sides, and I wanted these for like hauling wood and stuff, so I didn't have to worry about getting everything strapped down all perfectly. As you know, most utility trailers have open sides here. But we do have, I don't know if you can read that, it says it's rated for 2,090 pounds, even though the axle on it says it's rated for 2,500. But that's what it is. Pretty nice little trailer. The front actually flips down to extend it. So you pull 2 pins, and the front will flip down and give you an extra 2 feet of space. The side walls come off if you wanted to take them off to give yourself a little bit more width. It's got stake pockets, so you can make your own side walls if you wanted to. So I think it's a pretty versatile trailer, and it's got a metal floor in it, and that's something else I wanted. It's got the diamond plate floor. I really did not want a wooden floor. I definitely wanted the diamond plate floor. They seem to last a lot longer. Things don't fall through them. They don't get rotten. So, but that's it. Let's talk about the leaf springs we got for it now. Alright guys, so let's talk about the leaf springs that we're going to put on this. I got online, and I went to eTrailer. I did a lot of searching around for a couple of days before I actually found exactly what I wanted. And these guys had exactly what I wanted, and they had it for a really good price. I will definitely be going back to them for some more stuff in the future. And that's just eTrailer.com. The leaf springs that we got from them are 25 3/4 inch double eyelet leaf springs. So we just got an eyelet on each end, one on this end and one on this end. The springs that are currently on this trailer are called slip springs, and I'll show them to you later. Pretty much a slip spring's just got an eyelet on one end, and it's got just a bent piece of metal on the other end that just kind of rides against the bottom of the frame. I'm not a big fan of those, and they also make extremely hard to do any kind of lift kit with. Now, between the spring and last night, I went through and made up this down here. I went through and made myself up a set of custom shackles here for the leaf springs. These are 5-inch shackles. Between the spring and the shackles alone, I'm probably looking at about a 4-inch lift, which which is pretty good. That's about what I'm looking for, so I can get the bigger tires on here. I'm looking at putting a 28-inch tire on here with 15 to 16-inch rim. So, and if I need more lift, I can either always put longer shackles on it. I can make up some longer shackles, or I can put a lifter block on between the spring and the trailer axle. Now these shackles that I just made up, all it is just a piece of plate steel that I cut 1.5 inches wide by 5 inches long, drilled 2 9/16 hole in it, and what I did is I took all 4 shackles and I actually stacked them together, welded them together, just tack welded the ends so all holes were perfectly lined up all the way through them. And then I took just a 9/16 washer, and it's not the best weld I've ever done in my life, but it's a good weld. I've welded washers to either side just to give it a little more added strength, and I think that'll work out pretty well. Now the holes in the leaf springs are 9/16 holes, so I went out and got 3-inch 9/16 bolts for the leaf springs, for the leaf spring mounts, and to go in these. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it this way, but right now the fender actually mounts on through the leaf spring bolts. I don't know if I'm going to keep it that way. I know I'm 95% sure I'm not keeping these fenders. They're too narrow. I'm going to have to put set dicer on there. I may even attempt to make my own custom fenders. I mean, I do have some pretty decent skills in fabrication, so I may make my own fenders for you. I haven't decided. But fenders are dirt cheap for these things. I might just do something nice like a chrome or a diamond plate just to touch it up a little bit. But I got into that, so let's tear into this thing and let me show you what we're actually going to be doing on here. Now some of these steps might seem pretty obvious, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the tire here. And also, while we have this apart, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the bearings out of this hub, and we're going to go ahead and repack the bearings, check them over, make sure we don't need new bearings, because this trailer is, like I said, this trailer is a 2007, so it is going on, it's 13 years old. So, but first step anyways is just remove the trailer wheel. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a second jack. I've got one jack under the back end here, but I'm going to go get a second jack and put it under the axle. And we're going to pull this fender off. Like I said, the fender is held on by the leaf spring bolts. Now, something that I've learned doing work like this is the first thing you always want to do is remove the cat, because that's just going to be in the way through most of the projects. So you want to go ahead and get that out of the way before you really get started on anything else. Alright, now that we got the fender removed, we're going to go ahead, and I actually had to cut both those bolts. Them are seized down there. We're going to remove the U-bolts here on the trailer shackle. Hopefully I can get away without cutting those. Not a big deal if I have to run out and buy some more, but I'm hoping I don't have to. So let's get those removed now. Alright, I'm going to bring you in here and show you what we've got done so far. We've pulled out the old U-bolts that went up through the axle into this plate. You know, we're going to save those hopefully. And then we actually have cutting the, like I said, we cut the bolts off either end. So this is a slip spring, so there's actually nothing holding this end in. But we're going to go ahead and get that leaf spring swapped out, and I'll show you what we got when we get that done. Take a minute here to show you the difference in what we've got. Here's our old spring. As you can see, it's got the eyelet on one end, like I said, just this flat bent piece on the other that rides on the frame. And here's our new spring, and it's got the eyelets on both ends. Now, if you can tell, our new spring is a little longer, which is fine. I planned on that and wanted that. And our new spring is a little heavier duty, because this is listed at a 2,500 pound spring. This is listed at a 3,500 pound spring. But we're not ever going to put, we still only got a 2,500 pound axle, so we're not going to get that much weight on this thing. Alright, now that I got the new leaf spring in, let me show you what we got going on here. Now what I actually ended up doing is moving this one hole forward and bolting it in here. And then if you come around to the back, I've got my shackle. And I do have like a crush spacer in here to keep this from crushing when we tighten it down. But if you look, that shackle is on a little bit of a rearward facing angle. Now you want that, you don't want it to be straight up and down, and you don't want it to be tilted in, because as this leaf spring flexes up and down, it's actually going to push this shackle back and forth a little bit. So you always want that to be on a rearward facing angle when you install these. But I don't have anything tightened down yet because I've got to go over and do the other side still. Because if you can look here, you can see the axles. Damn it. The axle's got a little bit of a tilt here because it's not lined up with the other side yet, because the new leaf spring is like this compared to the old one, which was flat. So we got to go over and do the other side, and I am going to run to the store and get new U-bolts. I'm not going to leave them old ones in there. But that's what I've got going on right now. I will get back to you after the other side is installed, because it's going to be identical to this side. For brevity of the video, I'm not going to videotape me doing the whole other side. Alright guys, I'm going to make this summary up real quick here because it started raining on us, but I got the new leaf springs in with the new shackles and everything on there, as you can tell. The wheels only got 2 lug nuts on them because I've got the new wheels and tires coming for it, so when those come in, there will be a new video on that. I haven't decided if I'm going to change these fenders out or not yet. Probably, because the new tires are going to end up being significantly wider. But to sum it up real quick, with just the leaf springs and the shackles, I went from 14 inches of ground clearance to 17 inches of ground clearance. So, and that's just with the new leaf springs and shackles. I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's also attached to my big truck. So, and I measured that from the rear end. But with the new wheels and tires, I expect about another 3 or 4 inches to lift on top of that. I just gained 3 inches, but it was a real simple process. New leaf springs, new U-bolts. The whole project cost me about $70 altogether. So just letting everybody know it's not that bad. Anybody could get out there and do it themselves too, even if you've got to convert a trailer from a leaf spring to a slip spring like I did. But thank you. I'll keep you guys updated and get some more videos out there as the modifications continue.